elegant curves and dots. But what if I told you that hidden inside that script is one of the most logical and efficient writing systems on the planet? Today we're going to pull back the curtain and see how it all works.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The source material from Medina Arabic calls it one of the smartest linguistic systems in existence. It's built for speed and efficiency. For example, it often leaves out short vowels, which might sound crazy, but for a native speaker, it makes the script super compact and fast to read.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What's the secret sauce? What's the hidden logic that makes this ancient script so incredibly streamlined? Well, that's what we're here to find out. We're going to break it down piece by piece, starting with the absolute fundamentals.
And that means we have to start with the alphabet itself. Think of these not just as letters, but as the foundational building blocks. Everything else we're about to talk about is constructed from these.
Okay, so the most common answer you'll get for how many letters are in the Arabic alphabet is 28. It's a nice, clean number, and it's our starting point. But, with anything that has such a long and rich history, there's always a little more to the story.
Believe it or not, for centuries, the top grammarians couldn't quite agree if it was 28 or 29 letters. The whole debate came down to these two characters, the Hamza and the Aleph. Are they real, distinct letters, or are they something else, like a punctuation mark? This old debate just goes to show you how deeply scholars have picked apart every single detail of this language.
All right, so putting the exact number of letters aside for a moment, there are three absolutely crucial things you need to know about the script. First, you read it from right to left. Second, it's basically always cursive. The letters are designed to connect and flow together. And third, and this is a big one, because they connect, the letters actually change their shape.
Let's really dig into that last point because it's so important. I like to think of Arabic letters as little social creatures. They don't really like to be all by themselves. They want to link up with their neighbors. And to do that, they have to be flexible. They have to adapt their form. And this slide shows it perfectly with the letter sin. See that full kind of sweeping shape when it's all alone? But as soon as it joins a word, it changes. At the beginning, it reaches forward to connect to the next letter. In the middle, it becomes a bridge connecting from both sides. And at the end, it connects from behind before finishing with that familiar flourish. This constant adaptation is what gives the script its beautiful flowing look.
Okay, now we're getting to the real genius of the system. Let's move beyond the individual letters. If the letters are the building blocks, then the three-letter root system is like the language's DNA. It's a powerful code that holds the blueprint for literally thousands of words.
So what is it exactly? Well, at its core, it's pretty simple. Most words in Arabic can be traced back to a basic three-consonant root. Now, this root isn't a word you can just say, but it holds a core concept, a fundamental idea.
To actually map this whole system out, ancient grammarians did something brilliant. They took one root, fa'al, which means to do, and turned it into a universal template. So think of it like a formula. Fa is always the first letter of any root, Ain is the second, and Lam is the third. It's like a master key that unlocks how all the other words are built.
Okay, let's make this real with an example. Take the root del, ra, sa, or DRS. The core concept, the idea locked inside these three letters, is everything related to studying. This is the raw genetic material for an entire family of words.
So how do we get from a vague concept like study to an actual verb you can use? This is where the elegance of the system really shines. By adding simple bits and pieces, prefixes and suffixes, to that three-letter root, you can create all sorts of different meanings and tenses. And the best part? It all follows logical, predictable patterns.
And there's this really beautiful symmetry between the two main tenses. To talk about something that already happened, the past tense, you generally add a suffix, something on the end of the root. To talk about the present or the future, you usually add a prefix, something to the beginning.
Check this out. Here's our study root in action. To say I studied, you just pop that to suffix on the end, darastu. To say I study, you add the a prefix to the front, adrusu. And for I will study, you just add another little prefix, sa, to the present tense form. See? It's an incredibly logical, pattern-based system. So once you grasp this idea of the root, you start seeing these amazing connections everywhere. If DRS is the DNA for the verb to study, just think about all the other related words that might share its genetic code, like student, or school, or lesson. When you unlock one root, you're not just learning one word, you're unlocking an entire family of them. And that is the elegant, hidden logic of Arabic.